ding. Oh, ding, ding. Oh, finally got here. It's round 12, ladies and gentlemen. Got some crumbs on my shirt. It'll be from a piece of bread that I just had with quite a nice fish cake. To take me away from this torrid match that I finally got to the end of. The fight I never thought I'd have. Of course, the greatest fight is with yourself. How can that be? Unless you've got an identical twin that you call yourself. No, what I mean is it's metaphysical. It's not, it's just nonsense. Yes, and that's the way I feel about boxing in general. Now, I've got to the final round. I can't showboat. I can barely move one leg in front of the other. At my age, it's a wonder that I've even laced me blooming boots up. But I'm here on the business of boxing with Steve Von Swift. That's me. And this is for LAW, Law. Live Audio Wrestling. Yours. Brady. Chris. Tidster. The Tidster. Yes. And Uncle Brady. Hello, Uncle Brady. How are you? Now, quite a lot for this week. I'm going to try and keep it short. But as you know, I like to start with some good news. It's Good News Week, folks, because I like to be able to give you a nice boxing match. And you might see my eyes going down here for some notes. Notes! I do have to get a bit of notage going on sometimes. I don't want to miss anything. So, last week I wasn't able to give you a good boxing match because we had two and they weren't that good. We're going to talk more about Nate Diaz later on. And do not worry. Do not concern yourself. There will be some. He will be here. It will be on the business of boxing with Steve Swift. It's the Ryan Garcia chap. The Ryan Garcia. Iron Ryan Garcia. As I might well continue to call him. I don't think so. Anyway, let's wash behind my ears a bit. I've just been for a massage, by the way. A little bit of unguent round here. Yes, had some energy work done as well. One has to when one's preparing for the business of boxing. First of all, though, the boxing of boxing. With boxing. For boxing fans with boxing. It's Jaron Boots Ennis versus David Avanesian. Right. David Avanesian is no chump. He's no kind of... he's not unfamiliar with boxing or with boxing rings or with putting in a shift in the boxing ring. He knows about that stuff. And Boots Ennis made him look as though he didn't. Boots Ennis had been away from the boxing ring for about 12 months. And if that, as the commentary team intimated, is him with ring rust, then they left that in the air. But really, I mean, if he gets a good program together, my word. Now, the thing about David Avanesian is that he had to counter-punch, and what he wanted to do was punch, when Boots Ennis was punching himself. So he needed to time that and punch when Boots Ennis was punching. That's great if you haven't got a talent in front of you like Boots Ennis, who right from the beginning decided to jab. Now, it wasn't one of those Nate Diaz jabs. Oh yeah, that's quite nice. Oh, it's pummeling me face a little. What a massage. It's not like that. I think I did that last week, didn't I? Yes, not like that. This is a ramrod jab, which is precise and causes a lot of trouble. Now, he wasn't just doing that, but, I mean, it keeps you off, doesn't it? It keeps you away. You think, well, if I try this, he's going to smack a glove into me face, isn't he? So I'm going to have to find out another way of doing things. You see, he set a puzzle. In the boxing of boxing, which is what I said boxers do and what I like to see. David Avanesian never in these, well, it didn't go the full rounds. I think it went 6. I'm looking. It went Yeah, it went 5.5. More of that in a minute. I'll tell you why it's 5.5 in a minute. But he never really managed. Look at my beard's looking a bit all over the place at the moment. I think it's looking nice yesterday, but I wasn't recording yesterday. Look, there's a little bit sticking out here. It's like the Laughing Cavalier's got a goiter. You can look that word up. Goiter. Yes, Goitre. Goiter. It means a little bit of a bulge. A bit of a bulge, yes, which at my age is all you can hope for. Now, back to Boots Ennis. He wasn't just going for that pin. Going for the... It wasn't a pin, it was a jab. Jab. It wasn't just doing that. There was no pinfalls, it wasn't wrestling. He was working the body as well. So well that early on in the match, or the fight if thou likes, he hit David Evanesian with a low blow. Now, David Evanesian, I mean, it was right on the twig and berries. I mean, he really pummeled his meat and two with that. As they say down the Cockney area in the south, his meat and two. It really smacked him. And what he said was, David Evanesian was bending at the knees, and so consequently, that is why he caught him there. And he might be right, because actually, he was so precise. Now, there's no way that Evanesian could get into this fight at all. He had such speed, he was in and out so well. These were power shots to body and head all the time from Boots Ennis. Called Boots, apparently, because his mum used to call him Boops. And it was misheard at a boxing gym, so it's called Boots. It might well be that he's got a fine collection of footwear. Could be that as well, I don't know. But anyway, that's what people say. Boots, the footwear king, Boots Ennis. I don't think he wants to be called that. Brogues Ennis. I don't think he wants to be called that either. Anyway, Evanesian had a go. Evanesian did have a go. He didn't get anywhere really. There was some blood by the fourth round, and I just saw in that fourth round Evanesian kind of just closing his eyes. You know, just kind of, I'll take my glasses off so you can see my eyes. Just kind of, you know, a bit wincing a little, you know. The only thing that Sean Porter pointed this out, actually, that you could look at with Boots Ennis was that sometimes he regards his work a bit too much. Stays there, a bit lackadaisical with getting away. And if you had a faster fighter, then they may be able to get some punches in. But really, I mean, it was a fantastic performance from Ennis. He put Evanesian down. It was a right counter over the top, which put him down. And then, between the fifth and the sixth, there was a no-mas moment when he quit on his stool. I don't really think we can say, I mean, it's the kind of thing that may follow a boxer, but only if you're that kind of boxer who doesn't quit and then actually does, which Duran did. However, Roberto Duran, you know, Hands of Stone, who did quit on his stool, and there was a big uproar. They won't be on this occasion because I think, well, how could he possibly have come out and shipped more punishment for what? There was no way he was going to win this bout, no way at all. And Boots Ennis looks like a fantastic prospect. Well, more than a prospect, but not according to Terence Crawford, who has said, he said afterwards, because people are saying, well, it can fight Crawford next. It's got to be a possibility, because Crawford's come out and said, well, you know, he's rubbishing it and saying there's a you know, he's surprised that Ennis is being regarded with that kind of inflated opinion. So that means there will be a fight then, don't it, mate? Yeah. It would be a great fight. I'd love to see that. Oh, I'd love to see it. Oh, I'd love to see it. Now, in other news of the business of boxing, because that was a business of boxing too, the Nate Diaz fight, it rumbles on. I mean, it rumbled on while I was watching it. Really poor. Now, the one versus Jorge Masvidal, where not really any punches from Nate Diaz were thrown in anger. They were kind of thrown in, oh, go on then. Have I got to punch you? Go on then, all right. He's now suing Fanmio, who are the promotion company, because he said that he was promised, and actually it seems from people who seem to know about this, I'm reporting something I don't really know. He says that there's a contract for $9 million. Now, he was paid slightly less than $9 million, $1 million. Now, you can't get much less than that. Well, you could. It could be 5 cents. It could be $5.20, something like that. But that's a big difference between 9 million from 9 million, isn't it? And he's been told that it seems that it didn't sell that well. The money's not there, and it would cause the company some pain, or certainly people involved in the company some pain. So the business of boxing continues, doesn't it? And are we saying now, well, I'm saying that the exhibition boxing thing is coming to an end? Are we saying this is the slow decline of that kind of exhibition boxing? No, I think we're saying people don't want to see Nate Diaz, aren't we? Are we saying that? I think we are. Are we saying it? I think I am. I'm saying it. I'm just saying it. So, I think that's what we're saying. I think, a bit rough that nose. I need a pumice stone on it. A pumice stone. Or some of that stuff you can get, with the grains in it. What's some of that? It's nice. Very nice in the morning. It's quite helps you to breathe. It's got a nice bit of tea tree oil in it. Very nice. Anyway, it may well be that people don't want to see Nate Diaz fight. I'm not too bothered. I couldn't be less interested in seeing him again, I have to say. And well, this just keeps it in the public eye, doesn't it? So maybe that's one of the reasons why it's here. But it might be that he was promised more money, hasn't had it, and that's a serious issue. It's a serious issue when you don't get paid what you have been contracted to get paid, unless there's something in the contract that says, but if we're not very happy with the results and it doesn't make the money back, you won't get your money. But 9 million to 1 million, if that is the case, is a long way, isn't it? It just shows that even in your exhibition bouts, glory be, perish the thought, the business of boxing can make things look a bit seamy. Okay, this is a really obvious trope, business of boxing trope. It's Dynamite Dubois, who will be fighting Anthony Joshua, AJ. AJ, good guy. Oh, what a good guy. Great guy. Oh, nice guy. Good guy. And the Joshua camp have, Camp Joshua, not saying he's Camp Joshua, have said that, well, they've questioned Dynamite Dubois not being tested by VADA, the testing organisation, and they've sort of said, well, I wonder why that is. We don't know. The implication being maybe he's on something. Now, I've not even looked into this story because it's clearly, I just saw the headline and thought, well, we know what that is, don't we? I mean, it may raise a serious point, but not really. He's trying to get into his head, aren't you? It's that kind of, oh, your girlfriend's ugly, and anyway, I slept with her. That sort of thing. It's that kind of thing, isn't it? Don't you know, you better ask her. Maybe she'll tell you. Your kids look a bit like me. Maybe they're my kids. That sort of thing. Really obvious. The really obvious stuff where it's clear that you've got some, that either you've got some kind of issue with the closeness of this fight, and I think it will be a close fight. I really do, There are other people like Simon Jordan, and I said this last week, didn't I, who say, well, AJ's not really faced anybody who's marvellous. And Dubois, even though he did it illegally, put down Alexander Usyk, and no one's been able to do that, have they? Not for an awful long time, if ever, I think. I can't be bothered to go and have a look on whether that's the case. Can't be bothered. Tired. Here you go. So anyway, it's really obvious. It may be that he's a bit concerned about him, or it may be just that he thinks, better hype the match up. Better do that. It's really, really poor. Talking about hype, roll up, rip tip diddle diddle dum dum rum dum diddle diddle. Eddie Hearn is saying that something amazing makes you want to watch it. Yeah, something amazing that makes you want to watch it. Mike Perry is in for I Am Mike Tyson. Also Mike Tyson, as we now call him. Well, I call him Also Mike Tyson. Don't hit him around the torso. He's got an ulcer. That sort of thing. That's my medical advice. Even though I'm not a doctor, but I'll have a bloody good look. Anyway, not really. Only joking. So he's saying that Mike Perry, who is an ex-martial arts man and bare-knuckle boxer, bare-knuckle, will have to quote Eddie Hearn, break Jake Paul's legs to win. Now, I feel sure that if we carry on with this exhibition boxing nonsense and the tag team boxing and all that, there will be boxing with MMA rules coming. So you'll be able to break his leg at some point. And all right, he had to break his legs to do that. He's saying it because no one really wants to watch Mike Perry versus Jake Paul. It was Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, wasn't it? So, one Mike for the other, but one's very different to the other. And anyway, I don't want to see Jake Paul fight in that way. I'll watch it. Of course I will. Because I'm doing this column, aren't I? Or this video. But I don't really want to watch it because, well, what would be the point? I mean, he's not a boxer. I keep saying this. He's not a boxer. He's not an exhibition fighter. He's not, he's neither one thing nor the other. He says he wants to be a boxer and then he breaks our hearts, but he doesn't really do that. Doesn't break our legs either. But, he kind of, he doesn't manage our expectations. I want to be a boxer. I love boxing. And I want to get a boxing record going. I'll fight Nate Diaz and I'll fight Mike Tyson. No, I can't fight him. I better fight an MMA. Now, I'm trying not to get angry about it because they just had a massage and I'm very chill. Oh, so chill. So chill. But this is just nonsense, isn't it? And I'll watch it and feel really dirty afterwards. And not in a good way. Now, Ryan Garcia. I can't leave it any longer. Ryan Garcia, who has said that he's reported to have said that he wouldn't allow himself to come back into boxing either. He's gone into rehab. What he's thinking is that he will have an exhibition fight. Of course he will, in Japan later in the year. Yeah, for Rising. And, it gives me a bit of a headache because I have said many times, and I've called it, haven't I? It's your brand. It's not about the boxing. It's your brand. If it's an exhibition fight, you can lose and it doesn't matter. So not only are you not fighting for a title, not only do you not need to make weight, it doesn't really matter if you win or lose because people are coming to see you because you say things and because you do things, not what you do in the ring, what you do outside of the ring. So it doesn't matter what you do in the ring. The boxing of boxing feeds the business of boxing. And the business of boxing is where he is at the moment. And folks, that's where I am. And that is where I shall remain. Ta-ta.
RockSolidFanClub.ca gives you full access to Canada's leader in professional wrestling, featuring legends like Mick Foley, modern megastars such as Cody Deaner, and future sensations like Tyler Turva. RockSolidFanClub.ca offers exclusive series, podcasts, live streams, specials, and full events, all for less than $9 a month. Sign up today at RockSolidFanClub.ca, where real fans get it.
The man with the pugilistic